There's a story that invisibly powers your entire life. Seriously, it's a story about a war, but one that wasn't fought with soldiers. It was fought with sparks. See, it all boils down to one simple fact. There are two basic kinds of electricity, two currents, and really two completely different philosophies. One of them is the reason you can flip a switch and the lights just come on. It's why your fridge keeps your food cold. It's the juice flowing through the very walls of your house. And then there's the other kind. This one is totally different. It's what lives inside your laptop, what brings your phone back to life. It's what makes our whole digital world possible. For a really intense moment in history, these two types of power were locked in an all-out battle for the future. And this is the story of that war. All right, so let's get into it. To really get what this fight was about, you've got to meet the contenders. What exactly are these two kinds of power? Okay, first up, you've got direct current, or what we call DC. The best way to think about it is like a river, just flowing steady and smooth in one direction. That's the kind of power you get from batteries, from solar panels, and it's what runs all the tiny circuits inside your phone. It's simple, it's predictable, it's stable. And then you have its rival, alternating current, or AC. Now this stuff is a whole different beast. Instead of a calm river, AC is more like a frantic vibration. The electricity is literally flipping its direction, back and forth, about 50 or 60 times a second. You know that low hum you can sometimes hear coming from big appliances? Yeah, that's pretty much the sound of AC power doing its thing. So here's the bottom line. On one side you have DC. It's smooth, it's one way, and it's perfect for electronics. And on the other side you've got AC. It's vibrating, two-way, and it is seriously powerful. These differences? Well, they're the reason a war started in the first place. So why a war? Well, it's because back in the early days of electricity, the smartest people in the room hit a huge wall. A problem so big it threatened to keep electricity as just a cool toy for the rich, instead of something that could change the world for everyone. And this was the big one, the question that defined everything. How in the world do you get electricity from a power plant all the way to a city hundreds of miles away without it just fizzling out and disappearing along the way? And this is where DC just completely stumbled. For all its good qualities, direct current was awful at long-distance travel. If you sent it down a long wire, most of the energy would just burn off as heat. You need a power plant on pretty much every city block. It just wasn't practical. But AC? Oh, AC had a secret weapon. It was a brilliant little device called a transformer. And it could do something DC could only dream of. It could change its voltage. So you could create the power, use a transformer to ramp the voltage way up for the long trip, losing almost no energy, and then, right as it got to your neighborhood, another transformer would step it way back down to a safe level. It was a total game changer. And whenever there's a game-changing technical solution, there's usually a messy human conflict right behind it. This wasn't some quiet debate in a lab. Oh no, this became a public war, a battle of titans with fortunes and legacies on the line. In one corner, you had the most famous inventor in the world, Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park. He had bet his entire empire on DC. And in the other corner, you had the brilliant, maybe even eccentric, Nikola Tesla, a visionary who was convinced AC was the future. You had two absolute geniuses, backing two completely opposite technologies. And this is where it got personal. Edison was terrified of losing everything he'd built, so he launched this crazy smear campaign to convince everyone that Tesla's AC was a deadly menace. It stopped being about the science and started being all about ego, money, and, let's be honest, a lot of fear. Okay, so the dust from that whole war settled a long time ago. So let's jump ahead to the outcome. Let's look at how it all ended and how it literally built the world you and I are living in right this second. It's the million-dollar question, right? After all the fighting, the public drama, the clashing of these massive egos, who won? Was it Team Edison and DC or Team Tesla and AC? Well, what's so cool is that the answer is complicated. AC definitely won the first big battle, the power grid. That ability to travel long distances meant it was the clear winner for lighting up our cities. But DC didn't just vanish. Nope, it kind of went underground, finding a new life inside our technology. Every single device with a microchip, your phone, your computer, even electric cars, they all run on good old DC. So in the end, there wasn't a clear winner. It was more like a truce, a partnership. AC does the heavy lifting, getting all that power to the outlet in your wall. And then, you know that little black box on your phone or laptop charger? That's basically a tiny transformer. And its whole job is to take the wall's AC and turn it back into the DC your device needs to work. And that's really the big takeaway here. You're literally living inside the peace treaty of the current war. Every single moment of your day is powered by this constant, silent teamwork between two old rivals. So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you charge your phone or just flip on a light, think about it for a second. Which current are you using? And the real answer is, you're using both. You're holding the legacy of that incredible war between Edison and Tesla, working together, right there in the palm of your hand.